What is going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of Old School RuneScape's Unluckiest Players. We are rounding out 2022 here with December's Unluckiest Players, and this one is a pretty good one to end the year on. As always, we're going through our unluckiest and my top 3 picks for the top 3 unluckiest of the month. Before we get into today's video, if you haven't checked out my OSRS merch store, there is an Etsy link in the description below. You can head over and check that out. I've got all kinds of different things. Beer glasses, which are new, pint glasses, can koozies, stickers, t-shirts, decals. So give that a look if you're interested in some old school merch. As for the beer glasses, thank you guys for voting on the poll that I had. The beer glass was the next item that was voted in by you guys, and I've got 3 cool designs. We've got the drink beer menu, we've got Alfred Grimhand's bar crawl, and the 99 drinking skill icon. So thanks for voting in that. Super happy to add these to the shop. With that, let's get into this month's unluckiest. We're going to start this one out with XDOMS over at Zulrah. No Zulrah pet or Magma Mutagen, 8,723 KC, has managed to pull in 3 Tanzanite mutagens. So I'm sure seeing each of those extra Tanzanite mutagens probably hurt a little bit. Over 2 times the drop rate for the pet as well. Next up is Unit 12P, Iron Account, looking for the Armadillo Crossbow. Last drop needed for the green log, which is pretty unfortunate for an iron account. That Armadillo Crossbow is a nice item to have, 3,164 KC. Next up is Toidle, pulling the baby mole in at 7,962 kill count, a little over 2 times the drop rate. Next up is going to be this my max. This is an update coming in. Still missing the Aram's skirt. 2,200 KC. Needs the Aram skirt to finish out the Barrows log. Your average completion for Barrows is around 1,250 completed runs. Next up is going to be True, pulling the Hell Puppy in 10,952 KC. This is my personal nightmare. I'm still looking for that pet. Superhorse is up next. Looking for the mining pet, 55.5 million XP thus far. Good luck on your grind. Stored away, looking for Ranger Boots, 1,710 medium caskets completed, along with 20 boot rolls in there. Not a single one of them has been Ranger Boots. Steve UK87, looking for the Briophida's Essence, 236 kill count for this one. That has to suck getting all those keys. Next up is Sky Nexus, pulling in the Pet Kraken, 9,966 kill count, over 3 times the drop rate. Coming in next is Suck It, pulling the Beaver Pet at 121 million XP. Good God, that is a lot of hours spent woodcutting. Next up is Quaza 3, look for the Prince Black Dragon Pet, 12,000 kill count so far. That is 4 times the drop rate without the pet. Next up is Quixie's, looking for some mutagens. Doesn't have either of them at 5,033 Zulrah KC. Either mutagens, drop rate of around 1 in 3,200, and a specific one, 1 in 6,500, so still unlucky. Oikia Purdue, group iron account, pulling in the first Basilisk Jaw, 4,824 KC. Drop rate on that jaw is 1 in 1,000 if you are on a Slayer task, so this player is approaching the off-Slayer task drop rate, which is 1 in 5,000. Non-lags, noted anti-venoms in a Master Clue. Master Casket number 8, always feels bad to see these. Next up is Noah, pulling a Bottomless Compost bucket, 162 kill count. Long time to wait for that bucket. Next up is Moist Midget, pulling the Prince Black Dragon Pet at just over 4 times the drop rate, 12,597 kill count. Next up is MK Safe 93, only 1 blood shard from the Firewatch Sentinels with 6,264 KC recorded. Should have 4 by this point. Drop rate is 1 in 1,500. Meowmix 88, looking for the Skotos pet. This one's pretty bad. 278 Dark Totems used, 278 kills without a Skotos pet. Next up is Mega Evolved. No Zulrah pet or Jar of Swamp, but has pulled in 2 Tanzanite and 2 Magma mutagens, 6,000 KC. Pet and the jar are both a drop rate of 1 in 4,000. By all means, Mega Evolve should have a green log. Next up is Lud, iron account, looking for the Armadillo Plate Body. 5 helms and 7 skirts though, cannot manage to pull a plate body drop. 2,000 kill count. Next up is low cash iron account. No Zenites on this account. 1 in 300 on the drop rate for the Zenites. 1,368 kills for low cash. 4 times the drop rate. Light air. Ultimate iron account. No enhanced weapon seed for this one. 1,407 corrupted gauntlet KC. Light air again. Missing the Arams and Guthin skirt. 1,535 barrows KC. We went over that earlier. Average completion 1,250 chests looted. Next up is the iron account. LXI Daddy. Look for the bottomless compost bucket. 110 kills. Hasn't seen one yet. Group Iron Man Bobcat 314. Also looking for a bottomless compost bucket. 138 KC for this player with a dry streak. GFI is up next, pulling the pet Dagonoth Rex in. 9,333 KC. I usually wait until 2 times the drop rate to feature something, but I figured this was close enough. That's a lot of time spent. Congrats on finally getting your pet. 1 in 5,000 for those pet Dagonoth drops. Next up is Fee Moose, Group Iron account, looking for some Zenite shards here. 1,332 KC, zippy so far, 1 in 300 on that drop rate. Next up is Ike NX, looking for some blood shards from pickpocketing. This one's pretty bad. 28,000 pickpockets, no blood shards. Woo. Next up is Durls, pulling a second Zulrah pet in at 9,255 KC. Why is this unlucky? Well, the second pet dropped before getting either mutagen. Nobody wants duplicate pets. We want the stuff we don't have. Unfortunate for Durls. Crunch 704 is our next featured player at Vedion. 8,475 kill count. Finally pulling in the Vedion Junior pet. That is over 4 times the drop rate. 1 in 2,000 for that pet drop. Next up is Conjured One. Dude's looking for some Barrows drops. 100 kill count. Has got 0 Barrows drops so far. His drop rate on a Barrows drop is about 1 in 15. So quite dry there for that. Next up is Chloe McMate. Pegasian Crystal. This one, 2,595 KC to pull in the Pegasian Crystal. But I suppose if you're log hunting, that is still pretty unlucky. Drop rate for that specific crystal is 1 in 512. Seaboy Unlucky, Group Iron account. These next two, I'm just going to say now, are just super tragic. So this one, this Group Iron Man lost the Draconic Visage due to the rollback on December 9th. You can see it there in the screenshots that the drop was gotten right before the rollback happened. Even worse than that is our next account, Bruh Boobies, also a Group Iron account. Bruh Boobies is losing a Twisted Bow from the Chambers of Xeric due to the rollback. I really feel for both of these players. Super unfortunate. It's too bad there is no item reclamation feature. If you can prove it, it is super unfortunate because both of those items are super, super important in Group Iron account building. Next up is Behave or Die. Look for the Omelet, 3,315 kill count so far. Still has not managed to pull in that Omelet drop. Arunis Knee up next. No Hydra Pet or Claw. 4,052 kill count. The Hydra Pet is 1 in 3,000 for the drop rate, so not super, super dry on that one. But the Hydra's Claw, 1 in 1,001 over 4 times the drop rate. Next up is Arcalius, pulling the Heron Pet in at 40.9 million fishing XP. Dude caught 560,000 Karambwans to get this pet. Next up is Anth52, looking for a Zulrah pet. 14,683 kill count. No pet yet. That is over 3 times the drop rate. Air Dibble, Group Iron account, completing the Demonic Gorilla log with only 2 Zenites. Unfortunate for an Iron account. 2,225 kill count. Definitely should have seen way more Zenites in that time. About 7 if you're going by the drop rate. Next up is Chu. Chambers of Xeric Metamorphic Dust. It took 2,091 Chambers of Xeric challenge modes for this user to get the Metamorphic Dust, and that is absolutely obscene. I admire the dedication, but wow. Next up is A101, pulling the Venenatus pet in at 14,470 kill count, over 7 times the drop rate for this Wilderness pet. Next up is one Salty Veni, another Venenatus pet drop here. 10,515 kill count for this one, a little over 5 times the drop rate. Rounding out our unluckiest before we get into our top 3 is going to be Zero J-Man. This is a Group Iron account looking for the Bottomless Compost Bucket, 210 Hespori kills for this player without seeing that bucket. All right, it is now time for our worst RNG of December. Our top 3 unluckiest players. These are my top 3 picks. If you disagree, if you think something else should have been in here, let me know in the comments below. Our number 3 unluckiest player this month goes to X Legend God X, looking for the Krill Susaroth pet. That is Zamorak God Wars dungeon. Now 3 times the drop rate, 15,000 kills. Hasn't managed to pull in the pet yet. Number 2 goes to Weenie Hut Jr. This one, you may have seen this on Reddit. Nextling pet, 35,459 kills. Now, regardless of whether this is all free-for-alls or you're all in a team for these, this is absolutely insane. You might be asking yourself, why didn't this make number 1? Well, I'm pretty sure all of these were FFAs, so it is going to take you quite a bit longer unless you're super lucky to get that pet. As for our number 1 unluckiest player this month, this one is going to go to Rusty Kicks. This is an Ultimate Iron Man account, finally pulling the Gauntlet pet in at 3,841 Corrupted Gauntlet KC. First of all, that is over 4 times the drop rate, actually about 4.75 times the drop rate. Second is the time spent just to get this pet. If you're looking at an average completion time of, I don't know, 9 minutes or so for a Corrupted Gauntlet, we'll just say 9. That might be a little bit on the high side, but regardless, you're looking at about 550 hours that Rusty Kick spent to get this Gauntlet pet on the Ultimate Iron account. I admire the dedication, but I do not know how you do it, my man. So that is going to do it for our final edition of Old School RuneScape's Unluckiest Players for the year of 2022. Obviously, with the success of the series, we're going to keep it going through 2023. If you'd like to submit to either this video or the Luckiest Players Showcase, check out the description below. All of your submission instructions will be listed down there. You can also find the link to the OSRS merch store down there. It is an Etsy link. Check out the new products that have been added. I'm always trying to add new stuff. Thank you guys for submitting. Thank you guys for watching the video. If you liked it, please leave a thumbs up. If you want to see more, don't forget to tap that subscribe button, turn on the bell icon for notifications. I will see you all on the next one. Take it easy.